Very good morning to all present here. Today I am going to talk about an approach to urban planning and urban design. So let me start with this. So first I will explain you the differences between the urban planning and the urban design. The first confusion that everyone has. So urban planning is planning the structure of a city which includes its policies, infrastructures, neighborhoods, building codes and the regulations. So the urban plan is all about framing the policies for the design part. And urban designers, it talks about the design of city features. It focuses on the design and the user experiences. On the whole, on a larger scale, the urban planning is seeing the things from a 2D point of view. From an aerial perspective, when you look at the city, you can the urban planning is about the 2D view, whereas the urban design is about the which talks about the 3D features of the city in a micro scale. Further, the urban design is all about the imageability of the city. This is the first, the basic differences between the urban planning part and the urban design part. The first one is planning, the next one is executing the design. So now, why do we need planning and designing for the cities? Always what we lack. It leads to haphazard development and ends up with the shortfall of infrastructures or the shortfall of housing, or even we don't get healthy living environment. So the initial stage, the planning segregates the land uses. So we can have land uses like residential, mixed residential, commercial, industrial. So by the way, at the initial stage itself, we are segregating the settlement patterns. This is how the first step the planning takes. What an urban planner and an urban designer do. So the urban planner, he ensures that the city life becomes more livable for the residents by controlling the uses of the resources. So how he controls the use of resources? By allocating the land uses or by allocating the development regulations in and around the natural resources. For example, if you take Palikane wetland, so the development is restricted all around the wetland areas or even the aquifer recharge areas, we have separate development regulations. Or even we have Environmental Protection Act which will preserve all these natural resources. For example, if we take Chennai, then we protect these natural resources like wetlands or working canals through various environmental protection acts. Moreover, the urban planning, this moves the livability index of the cities. So this is the role of an urban planner in an urban planning. Whereas an urban designer, his job is to make the cities and town look and feel aesthetically pleasing. And urban designers may look into the details of like the building details and the streets, even the landscaping, the public transportation systems and the public paths. So urban design includes all these things. The buildings, streets, the public transportation systems as well as the public paths. So now the both urban planners as well as the urban designers, they both deal with the spatial planning considering people and how they use those spaces. So they think of where they live, they think of where how people go for work and how people move. So how people use the lands. It is all about people and their quality of life. The both people, the urban planner as well as urban designers, they both concentrate on the people and about their quality of life. It is all about planning for the growing population. So now, why is urban planning so important? It helps to achieve the sustainable development. It distributes the economical development within the given territory to reach the social objectives and create frameworks between the local governments and the private sectors and even at the public at the larger scales. See, for example, urban planning document helps to identify the potential areas. For example, we can take CES lands, special economic zone lands. So, any private sectors are approaching for a large parcels of land, the government will give these kind of set of lands like CES or HELPs. So, one such example for this urban planning document is TNCDBR, Tamil Nadu Compound Development and Building Rules. This is one such urban planning document. This master plan is for another 20 to 25 years. This as a wide proposal. This gives you the development regulation tools. This as a planning parameters for each and every building typologies, how it has to be developed, in what way, what are the setbacks you need to leave according to the width of the roads. And as well, this TNCDPR will guide you the OSR details, the open space reservation areas, which will help the government to get the areas within the commercial zone for the public building developments. As well, this urban planning document guides how to develop buildings in the coastal regulation zones. As well, this urban planning documents helps to water the street, water the roads with the help of TDR, transferable development rights. So, the urban planning document is the first one which helps to initiate your urban design. So, it frames the norms for your urban design too. And now, then why urban design is important then? What if all the buildings are same? What if all the roads are same? What if all the bridges are same? So you don't have any memories, right? You don't get anything in your mind. There is no place making in your area, or there is no imageability. That is what is happening right now. So urban design addresses how people perceive and use their environment. And urban design is all about how people care about the look, feel, and livability of their communities. It talks about the imageability of our neighborhoods. So, what are the elements we are looking for when doing a urban planning or urban design? So, it will be comprised of a zoning and a housing and a public buildings and the recreation zones, whether it's a park, playgrounds, etc., and different type of road systems and transport facilities, all modes of transport facilities. And how are we going to read the urban neighborhood? So there are four methodologies of reading an urban neighborhood. Any study area, any urban neighborhood can be read with all these four parameters. So first you have to identify. Identifying what? Identifying your urban neighborhood's name. First it starts with the name. So you have to check in for the name. Why? But the particular name has been given to that particular neighborhood. So it has some history to it. It has some origin, some valuable insight to it. You are looking for that. Then you have to see that the place of your neighborhood, the topographical pattern or the geographical connections it has. And you are looking for the significance. You are looking for the political significance, or you are looking for the architectural significance, or you are looking for the socio-economic significance. For example, if you take up Chennai, Chennai is during the British period, Chennai is famous for the Indo-Saracenic architecture. Why Indo-Saracenic architecture is a mix of Hindu details as well as Muslim details, right? So the Britishers want to balance the elements between these two categories. Though they found a new architecture called Indo-Saracenic architecture. So you have to identify that what pattern it follows. Each neighborhood has its own pattern, has its own reason for a name, has its own reason for its geographical or a topographical location, has its own significance. Okay. So the first thing is you have to identify all the parameters which relates to its development of its urban neighborhood. And the next part is analyzing it. Analyzing it by creating a map, by creating a base map, by creating a 2D map, by creating a figure ground mapping. So you have to map it like the open space versus the built spaces. So you have to check in for the urban fabrics, whether it's a coarse grain or a fine grain, whether if it is close buildings are placed closer, whether the spaces are available large. So you are looking for them. If some areas are so congested or some areas are so dense, why it is so dense? Why it is so close? So you have to analyze it why it is so. And also you can check in for the open spaces. If for example, if you take Cyberport, next to the Cyberport station, in between Cyberport and Mount Road, you don't find any open spaces at all. So these kind of information can be gathered through the figure code analysis. So you have to analyze your urban neighborhood with the help of different types of mappings you have done. And then after identifying the issues, after analyzing everything, then you have to interpret it. You have to interpret it. You have to interpret your data, and you have to collect your social data also. For example, if some areas, if you have taken up some urban neighborhood area and you have found that some streets are very busy and it is a continuous zone, then you need to check in for social survey data and you have to compare that data and you have to check out why it is so densely placed. The buildings, why they are not given any setbacks. Then you may have a reason, then you may have find a reason that the streets may be a bolder one. Or you are, it will be connected with so many things, okay. So understanding it, okay, understanding your, the last part is understanding your urban neighborhood. So after getting all the data, after getting your social data, after getting your spatial data, you have to compare both data together and understand your urban neighborhood. So these are the 4 parameters you have taken for studying your urban neighborhood. The first one is identifying it, then analyzing, then interpreting, and finally understanding your neighborhood. Then urban design, same places, different realities. So when you ask the transportation engineer what an urban design is for him, then he will say, for him, the urban design is all about, he wanted all the roads to be larger enough so that there is no traffic at all. Okay. He may think from his own perspective. And when you talk to conservationists, she or he may say that she wanted to preserve all the heritage building so that it will connect to the memories of the people, memories of the old people. So they are more concerned about conserving about the heritage buildings. When you talk about the social activist, he will think about the public spaces. He will think about the public open spaces, parks, squares, etc. When you talk to a builder, no, he will say an urban design is all about emphasis. He wanted all high-rise buildings to grow up like a Manhattan, New York. So his perspective is getting money out of it. And when you talk to an architect, he will say an urban design is creating a landmark building. So urban design has its own perspective for each one. So urban design involves many different disciplines. It includes planning, the development, and architecture, and landscape architecture, and engineering, and economics, law, and finance. It is comprised of all different disciplines. And urban design, it operates at the 3 different scales. So it is at the regional level, and at the neighborhood level, and at the block level. So from the larger scale to the smaller one. Further, urban design, it includes infrastructure, architecture, and the public spaces. So reading the urban environment from the urban perspectives. There are so many theories, there are so many ways of reading the urban environment. Here I am going to quote 2 examples. The first one is about jungle. People say jungle, whatever. Okay. So talking about jungle, he is a Danish architect and an urban designer who's having a consultant in Copenhagen. He is focused on improving the quality of urban life by reoriented city design towards the pedestrian and the cyclist. He is a founder of Well Architects, and he sees streets in a three-point perspectives. He will say that every street has 3 activities. The one is necessary activity, the other one is optional activity, and the social activities. If you take about a commercial streets, okay, a commercial street in Chennai or whatever, so all the shops, right? All the shops in streets are the activity happening in the shops are necessary activities. Okay, the optional activities are the street hoppers or any additional activities on the streets. Okay, that will become an optional activities. And social activities is something happens like if some festivals are happening, all of a sudden there are so many streets here and there is coming up, right? So or some political meetings, they have suddenly created as spaces. So these type of activities are considered as social activities. So from John Bell's perspective, we need to classify the streets with these three type of activities: necessary activities, optional, and the social activities. Further, in its changing mindsets about urban planning and living TED Talk, he mentioned that nowadays the city's perspective is completely changed. So he says like in olden days, the city is perceived from 5 kilometers per hour architecture. Later, now the city is perceived as 60 kilometer per hour architecture. But in future, it will be 120 kilometer per hour architecture. What it means is, earlier, since it is a 5 kilometer, you can see the details. Okay, you assume that you are traveling in a two-wheeler. Okay, in a 5 kilometer speed, you can very well see the details, right? So in the same way, if you are driving in a car in a 60 kilometer speed, you cannot see the details, right? So in a 120 kilometer, you think you cannot see the detail at all. You assume that there are some buildings, right? So that is how the architecture is taking the fastest. And from Iron Jacob and Donald Happy Yards in their papers towards an urban design manifesto, they have mentioned that the essentials for a good urban environment, they are mentioned as livability. The first priority they have given is livability. A city should be a place where everyone can live in a relative comfort. So livability in sense, it is not only for the taxpayers. Okay, we have to think of all class of people. So generally, people will say that urban planning is for the poor, urban design is for the rich. I hope you can understand that. So people in an urban planning stage, we will segregate the zoning and we will say like the slum peoples are located here and EWs will be coming there and the HH classes will be there. So the planning part is for the poor and the design part, urban design part is for the rich. That is what people used to say. But actually, when it comes to livability, we should be taking care of everyone. And the second part is identity and control. People should feel that some part of the environment belongs to them individually and collectively, whether they own it or not. So you should attach yourself with the neighborhood. How you can attach yourself with the neighborhood? Only when you walk in your neighborhood. So you make sure that your identity will be enhanced in your neighborhood. How it can be happen? By giving the sidewalk widths, by having a good cohesion with your environments. The third one, it talks about the access to opportunities, imagination, and joy. Why people should come out of their house and enjoy the neighborhoods? Only if there is an opportunity, right? So we have to make sure that the opportunities will be given and we have to think of all the users of the urban neighborhood. So it ranges from the kids to the old people to the office goers and everyone. We have to classify and we have to work out accordingly. And it talks about the authenticity and meaning. People should be able to understand the city, its basic layout, public functions and institutions, and the opportunities it offers. In Chennai, here is where the gap is. People are not aware about the planning regulation parameters. Many a times we used to complain that the infrastructure given by the government is not sufficient. If you take up a street in Chennai, so see for example, in a street, if there are 20 houses, as per the planning records, most of the people got an approval for G plus 1, whereas they built G plus 3. The number of houses in that particular street is on record, it is 20, but actually it is 200. Then how the government will ensure the infrastructure when they are not when they are not getting anything in the paper? So first thing is we have to be we have to follow the development regulation norms, then only we can expect that the infrastructure will be fulfilled. And then it talks about the community and the public life. Cities should encourage the participations of the citizens in community and public life. So, in Chennai, if you take, the only thing, only communal space that CMD and the Chennai Corporation knows is the park. Park is the only place they know. They don't think about activities in the park. They simply put furnitures everywhere. They wanted everyone to do some activity. How many people do activity when there are only furnitures? So we have to rethink of public spaces, and we make sure that the cohesion will happen in those public spaces too. And this urban self-reliance and the environment for all. The good environment should be accessible to all. Every citizen is entitled to a minimum level of environmental livability and identity, control, and the opportunities. So these are the 7 parameters for a good urban environment. With all this known, now I am going to show you a set of case study sheets, one from the Pondicherry, the other one from the Copenhagen. Each urban study has its own methodology based on the requirement for what it has been prepared. We can formulate our study based on our own requirements. We cannot have general framework like this things to be studied at all. Okay. We can have our own. I generally used to classify them as urban sociology, urban morphology, urban metabolism, urban ecology, and urban vistas. And in analysis, I have PEST, SWOT analysis, spatial analysis. So, the urban sociology. So, it seeks to describe and interpret the causal connections between the elements of a city and the factors which gives rise to it. So, urban sociology is the first real topic where the introduction of the urban neighborhood will be covered and the history and timeline will be covered, and it talks about the people and the culture, and it talks about the disasters. So, if it is a Copenhagen, it will be a fire accident. If it is a Pondicherry, it will be a tsunami. And Chennai is also a tsunami. So, the disaster happening. So, then from the history of those disasters, we will know how we can protect ourselves in future disasters. And the sociology covers about the demographic patterns and the religions. And it talks about the socio-economic buildings, how it influences the sociology within that neighborhood. And it talks about the blind spots. So these are the basic parameters which I frame under sociology. And talking about urban morphology. Urban morphology, it refers to the study of an urban form that focuses on the formation and transformation of urban forms of cities over time with the spatial patterns at different scales and physical characteristics that informs appropriate urban interventions. So under urban morphology, we start at the base plan and we do climatology analysis, the site analysis, the contours, the topographic patterns, how it reflects in the neighborhood, how it influences the development of the neighborhood, and the land use patterns, and the figure code mapping, which will show the grain patterns, which will help to identify the spaces in between them, which will help to identify the pattern, whether it's an organic pattern or the gridded one. And the building height mapping, so it will give how dense the place is, and the layered analysis where we have so many layers like road network layers, topography, contour levels, etc. I will show you. And proximity analysis, how it connects with the neighborhood and how it connects with the regions. Under urban metabolism is all to facilitate the flow of materials and energies within cities. It deals with the all type of infrastructures available within the urban neighborhoods. So under urban metabolism, we are covering the hierarchy of roads, different typology of roads and street sections, and public transports, different modes of transport, how it connects to the last mile connections, and the traffic analysis, and pedestrianization and cycling, and energies, water distributions, wastewater treatment, and the sewage management. sewage management. So under urban metabolism, we cover all type of infrastructures, it's electrical, energy, as well as transportation, everything. And the most important thing is our ecology. So under ecology, we cover blue covers and green covers. Blue covers are water bodies, and green covers are open spaces and trees. And we used to do the tree mapping, and we used to check the green spaces, how much green spaces are available within an urban neighborhood. As per World Health Organization recommendations, it is 9 meters square of green spaces is required for per person. So we have to make sure that this green spaces are available in the urban neighborhood for the healthy living. And we deal with the urban nature, the trees, flowers, and the disaster vulnerability and pollution in all forms, air, soil, and waters. And finally, close architecture, urban vistas. So we check the urban design elements and heritage buildings, mapping the heritage buildings, and mapping the activity mapping why and where people are gathering. And we talk about imageability and we talk about the placemaking. We take up important commercial streets and we do analysis on that and why is it so. And then we study about the nightlife. Nightlife is one important thing where you know how the city is safer for safer during the night times. And we deal with all the public square activities and the senior visions. And we take up any urban theorist vision and we will explain all to that. And finally,
Yes, sir. It is presenting, sir.
yeah, thank you. Okay, so let me start with the Pondicherry case study first. So under sociology, okay, first I will explain my study area. So we have taken a study area in the Pondicherry close to the shore. We have taken the French town and the Tamil town, the part of French town and Tamil town. It has comprised of 12 wards, wherein we have taken 3 wards for the study, Ward 12, Ward 18 and Ward 19. That is, it starts from the beach and ends at the Providence Mall, Ward 23. So we have taken all these 4 wards for our study. So this is our study area. So the first thing is about in the sociology part, we check with the history and timeline. So how the landform has changed due to the political interventions. So the Pondicherry, it starts with Roman and it goes on and it has been under the control of Portuguese, French, English, and finally back to French again. So that is how the changes happen in Pondicherry. And the second sheet is about the evolution and settlements. So the evolution and settlements, these kind of data we can get it from oldmapsonline.com or from the libraries within the neighborhood. So we got these details from the Pondicherry library. So you can see this, right? The fort till 1760, you can see the evolution. They are the fort. After 1760, the fort gets demolished within the French Quarter. Why they have demolished is since the development is happening, they don't require fort at all, and fortification is removed once the gunpowder invention started. So this is how the history of the place is identified. And then demography. Demography detail gives you the population count, population density, where in which wards they are living and how well it is populated, and about the literacy rate and the population growth and the age-wise data and the potential areas within the wards and all. These details will be covered under this. And under sociology, we will be doing we will be identifying the public buildings and its presence. So in our study area, it starts with the Puducherry High Court, and further we have Providence Mall, and Botanical Garden is one such public spaces which invite people, which invite the floating crowds. As well, we have Balasubramanian Kovil, a temple and a mosque, Mira Mosque too. So in sociology, we will be identifying all the public buildings. And under urban sociology, we deal with the activities, urban activities and nightlife. So, which are the spots which will be busy at the nights, and we will spot out those highlights, and we will check why is it so, and we have brief everything like in what way, why it is so busy, and we found that like Kasim market and farmers market are very busy doing night activities. And under urban sociology, we will check about the economic zones. So, in which area the commercial developments are happening, why is it so, in what way these commercial areas are related with the residential communities, in what way it boosts the economy. So, these patterns, these study will help you to analyze the development of that particular areas. And about the cultural factors, and you have to check out the cultural, social and cultural factors within the neighborhood. So the festivals are identified based on the months like January to February. There are some set of sort of festivals, and March and April. And the month-wise we have segregated, and arts and crafts, their occupation patterns, and the official symbols of Pondicherries. So this is how the sociology covers. And next we are into our morphology. The screen is shared, right, Shweta? Shweta?
So now it's not visible, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Every time each photo I have to share. Just a minute. Okay. Your power has gone. Okay, now. So, talking about our morphology. Yeah.
Yes, sir, we can see, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Under our morphology, we deal with the analysis of street patterns. So, morphology is all about checking the growth patterns. In which way, in what way it has taking its form. So, from 1705, we got a map from 1705. So, we have a canal, a large wide canal in 1705, and 1730, due to rapid development, it gets reduced. Further, 1740, it is almost vanished, and we have a fort in 1741. 1760, again, it is, again the canal is formed, and 1856 the fort gets demolished. So these kind of the street analysis will help you to understand how the neighborhood is developed in its timeline. And under other morphology, we have to check the climate analysis too. So the basic climatic informations like the maximum temperatures and the wind speed of that particular area, and the wind doses and average rainfall and the flood timings, how it affects the neighborhood, and even the tree mapping. We do the tree mapping, which will help to identify the microclimate of the neighborhoods. So we can do that. And the basic DCR analysis is called the development control regulations. We have to check out the development control regulation, whether the neighborhood follows the development norms, whether the setbacks are followed or not. So we have to check out whether they consider the buildings as per the norms, or we have to find like where the deviations are more, or where they have followed the rules. So you have to find out the relationship with respect to spatial analysis as well as the social analysis. You have to check in through the survey data, so why the people are deviating at one particular street or one particular neighborhood. And the evolution of bill forms. So in another morphology, earlier we have seen that the evolution of networks, and here it is about the evolution of bill form. How the buildings are taking up, how the buildings are developed. So we got a map from 1920. So from 1920, the development is marked, and for every 20 years we have taken up. So 1920, I chose 1940, 1960, 2000, and 2019 it is almost finished. There are no spaces for the further development. And figure ground map analysis, as I said, no, this figure ground map analysis, this will help us to easily understand the density within the neighborhood. See, for example, here the French town you can see the more number of open spaces. It is well placed. So it is following as per the World Health Organization norms. The open space are more. Whereas in the Tamil town, you can see spaces, a very less open spaces compared to the third ward at the above. Here you can see only few open spaces. So it starts sparse fabric, dense and very dense fabric. So figure 1 helps to analyze the fabrics. And building height and density mapping. So this one helps to understand where the multi-story buildings are getting developed, where the potential areas are happening. So we have reference for G plus 1 as well as G plus 6. So we have color coded so that from this map we can easily say that the particular area why it has got the developments. So this sheet is about the building height density. And the next one is about the land use. Actually, in the land use, we have two typologies. So, land use typology and the building use typology. So, land use is allotted by the government, where the buildings are built or deviated by the people. So, the first one, the 2015, the existing land use, we have existing land use, and 2019, we have checked with whether the buildings are as per the land use, and we have highlighted all those deviated buildings, and we through the survey data, we found out that why they are deviating such typologies. So sometimes we need to analyze the spatial data with the help of our social analysis, social survey data. And finally, we have SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunity, threat about the study area. And we go on to infrastructures. The connectivity map is visible, right, Shweta? You can see the connectivity map, right?
Yes, sir. The urban morphology housing, no, sir. That sheet.
No, that should be visible. Yes. Okay, just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Each folder again I am yes. Okay. And now we are into urban infrastructures. So you can see, right, Shweta?
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
So the connectivity map shows that the various type of modes we have. So various type of roads. It talks about different types of transportation. It's a port, a railway station, and it talks about the bus stand. So it talks about the port movements, and it talks about the railway station, the number of routes they have, and the services, the number of trains, and it talks about the bus stand and bus services and everything. And this map also talks about how this road network connects to the neighboring networks. And next we have in urban infrastructure, we have electrical detail, like the electric infrastructure, how the grid has been transferred to the neighborhood. So initially it starts from the station, right, from Kalpakam. For Pondicherry it is from Kalpakam station. So we have mapped all those details, like how much kilowatt power is supplying from Kalpakam or from other stations. And we have even mapped the light poles also, like how closely it is placed. Like we have identified the single street lamps as well the double street lamps and the French town lamps and feeder pillars also and the transformer also we have marked. So this electrical details will give you the details about the electrical infrastructures on the whole. And next about the street sections. So in the street sections, we will be discussing with the active sidewalks, the activities happening in the sidewalks, and especially the sidewalks with whether the sidewalks is given for the particular streets or not, and then the dedicated bike lanes as well as the roadways, as well as we are referring the crosswalks and the plantings also we will be noting down, and we talk about the green spaces, and each sections has been taken, and the typical street section we have elaborated and make a detail of it. So this is how the street section is worked out. And the next, and then on the next in our infrastructure, we have sewage management plants, and all the sewer is connected with the main sewer line as well as to the sub sewer line and to the household lines and all. And this also talks about the underground drainage too. And next we have the road network analysis. So in the road network analysis, we will be highlighting the arterial roads and sub-arterial roads and how it connects with the neighborhood, and we will be highlighting the color codes with the help of the road widths, whether it's a 40 feet or a 30 feet, and we have drawn a typical street sections too. And this is about further about the road types based on the materials. So we have three types of materials in and around Pondicherry: the asphalt, cement concrete, and the concrete pavers for the arterial roads and subarterial roads and the local streets. So those are highlighted here, the color codes are shown here. And about the solid waste management. So all the solid waste are getting collected. They are collected in three ways, like sanitary waste are collected separately, and non-biodegradable waste are separate, and organic waste are taken out. So they have dumped the wastage from the city center to the Kurumba bed, 7.5 kilometers from our neighborhood. So these kind of information will help you to understand our neighborhood. And analysis of water distribution, where the water tank is located, how much area it is occupying, and in topography where it is located, how it gets distributed, and the pipe diameter. These plans can be get from the water supply board. And now I will explain ecology. Sorry. Yeah. And about urban vistas. And about vistas, it has a component, the components of identity, structure, and meaning. So we have taken up Kevin Lynch principles. Kevin Lynch urban analysis principles of parts, landmarks, nodes, districts, and edges. We have analyzed our urban neighborhood with all these elements. And color codes of the streets have been identified. And overall neighborhood has been explored with Kevin Lynch principles of paths. So the street networks have been taken as a paths, and the edges or the railway borders will be considered as edges as well as the sea line. And for the districts, as Kevin Lynch suggests, the French town is considered as a special district, and the Tamil town is another, and the Muslim quarters as another district. And notes, we have highlighted all the primary nodes, secondary and the tertiary nodes. And landmarks we have mentioned. So as Kevin Lynch told, landmarks are in the people's mind. So it is about the water tank, the Providence Mall, the duplex statues, the Sacred Heart Basilica, and the Udavar Sunday, then the clock tower and botanical garden, then the Providence Mall. These are marked as landmark buildings. And further, the analysis of nodes and the landmarks. So the importance of the nodes with these landmarks have been elaborated in detail about when it has happened, when it is executed. So these details we have added. And we dealt with the urban sensescapes, all the five scapes like viewscapes, taste, smell, sound, and touch. And one of the major thing in an urban vistas is of dealing with the design elements. So we have taken up we have detailed out the elements, whether in the residential elements or the public building elements. We have detailed it out, and even the street lamps also we have taken. So all are captured and detailed out. So these are the sheets showing the window details and the and we have analyzed the visual pollutions, sources of visual pollutions, the urban pockets, visual pollutions are analyzed. And finally, we deal with the placemaking. We deal with the placemaking elements within our urban neighborhoods. So we found three things. One is HM Qasim Market in the Muslim quarters and Gaudi statue along the beach road and Lee Cafe in the beach road. So we have identified the placemaking elements in our area. Yeah, so this is all about the case studies of Pondicherry. Now I will get into the case study of Copenhagen. In the COVID time, the challenges are right. So the physical visit to the neighborhood is not possible. So we plan to take up a study in a developed country, developed city. So we plan to take up Copenhagen from Denmark. So in the Copenhagen, we have taken the district called Ingrid. So the possibilities of studying and possibility of studying urban study in online is the data. It is all about the data. Like since it is a developed city, we got all the data from the internet itself. We have used Google here for getting the road networks and traffic analysis and all other things, and we use whole history map websites for the history map and other things. And we have an official Copenhagen website where you will get all the socio-economic data. So you will get the population data, you will get the climatic analysis data. So our role in this is we are getting all the data. Our role is to interpret the data and analyze the data. I hope we have done that. So starting with the urban sociology. Starting with urban sociology. So it is about the introduction of Ingrid. So we are taking up, as I said, we are taking up the Copenhagen. Copenhagen is a part of Denmark, and under Copenhagen, Ingrid is one of the districts within it. So the highlighted district of Ingrid is 8.743 square kilometers. Copenhagen is famous for its finger plan, which was proposed in 1947. This finger plan follows the four parameters: the connectivity, open spaces, bicycle pedestrianization, and the urban green spaces. So we have collected all the information from online, and we have studied the history and timeline of Ingrid, the evolutions of Ingrid from it starts from 980 and slowly it gets developed at the near the water bodies. So it gets developed from 1550 to 1650, further 1750, and now 2018 it is completely fully developed. With that, required open spaces. And we deal with the people and their culture. So their festivals and their nightlife and street cultures and the performance and the museum, and we talk about that color. And the major disasters in Copenhagen is fire accidents. They have seen 3 fire accidents, one in 1728 and the other one is 1795 and the final one is 1807. So these type of fire accidents, studying these fire accidents helps to avoid the accidents in future. And further, we have studied about the population density, how it changes in urban Copenhagen from 1976 to 2016 and for the projected population for 2026. And the floating population also we have analyzed. And the religions within Copenhagen, so it is Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus and Jews. So because we have brief like when the Christians have entered and Islam. And if I start presenting the full presentation, no, it will take around 4 to 5 hours. So I will just go through it. And about the crime spots, we have identified the crime spots like A and B. So we have highlighted within the nearby. So why the crime spots is happening. So even our students have sent a Google form for the surveys to from here. And talks about the urban morphology. We first create the base map. So the base map has all the details. It has blue infrastructures, the water bodies, and the green infrastructures, the open spaces, the public buildings, and the green spaces within the public buildings. As well, it shows the built-up areas, the footprints of the buildings, and further we go on to the climatology aspects. So we deal with the topography and wind directions and contours. These contours are taken from the Google Earth. So we study about contours. And further, we deal with the type of the buildings. So we have highlighted the residentials, commercials, mixed types, government buildings, publics, institution and education buildings. Everything have been highlighted and figure ground map analysis. With the help of figure ground, we can see, with the figure ground map analysis, we can see like how we can see that we have large open spaces within the Indramayi region. It was found that 26% of the land cover is 26% is only covered out of the whole Indramayi area. And this map shows the open spaces and the subdivisions. It highlights the blue infrastructure as well as the green infrastructures. And building height map. So here in building height mapping, we have as like in Pondicherry, we have mentioned like ground floor buildings and G+6. We have the color code. So with the help of these color codes, we can easily identify where it is most dense. Further down, we have layered map analysis where we keep the base map. Over the base map, we place the topography. We will check whether how the topography plays a role in the development. And over topography, we have open spaces where open spaces have been given, and the footprints of the building, and the road network analysis. Over and above, we have land use maps and the height maps. Finally, the 3D models. So this layered map analysis will help to analyze all in one places. Further, we will do the proximity analysis. So how well our neighborhood is connected with the surroundings like the parks, canals, the museums, the universities, the churches, ferries, metro stations and tram stations. And we'll deal with the hierarchy of roads. We are an exporter view for that. So we have highlighted the highways and we have highlighted the major roads and the secondary roads and the minor roads, the pedestrian areas and these were highlighted. Further, we have street sections and we have taken up important streets and we have done a section for that. And we deal with the public transport. In Copenhagen, they have 3 metro lines running in and around Copenhagen, M1, M2, M3 lines, and they have bus routes and outdoor buses also. So those have been highlighted, and the network of those will be analyzed. Further, the details of transportation networks, the tram, the train, regional train, the routes, the capacity, how much it holds, how well it connected to its neighborhood. These things we have analyzed. And traffic congestion, this traffic analysis with the help of Google. With the help of Google, we get this traffic analysis pattern and we overlapped it and we found which area is traffic and what part of days, like whether it's a weekday or weekend or whatever. And the complexity emissions are all we are getting from the pollution website IQR.org, I guess. So we got those details from that. And noise data analysis of Indre, we got this data from the Copenhagen's official websites. And we have a sheet for the pedestrianization and cycle transport system. In Copenhagen, they have exclusive bridges for the cycle. So the 1975, they are into cycle, whereas in India, 1975, we are into automobile sector. So these are the changes happening. And this one talks about the energy measures they have taken. So they are using the high pressure sodium lamp for the highways as well as metal halide, LEDs, mercurics, fluorescent tubes and all. So with the help of these legends, we have highlighted those lights in our urban neighborhood so that we can read out where and why they are placed. Further down, like water distributions, so how it happens, where the water supply is from, and wastewater treatment, how they are treating the wastewaters and other things, and about the waste management and the urban infrastructure, we have waste management too. And about the urban ecology, we deal with the blue covers and canals. So we look up the canal in the initial stage and later how it gets developed, how it gets. So we talk about the waterfront development along the canal sides. And we have sheets for green spaces. We have 8 major green spaces around the river. So each green spaces, their site extent, their role in the neighborhood. So the activities within the green spaces, whether it's a government or private sector or what type of activities are known, whether it's for the public or semi-public. So these analyses we have done. And other nature trees, we check with open microorganic island. So we check out each trees and their species and types. And how does the flora affects and helps urban designs and local producers and green courtyards. And we have analyzed each and every tree within the belt and its role and the disaster vulnerability, flooding due to the burst. So disaster vulnerability, what will happen if the sea rise by 1 meter or 2 meter or 3 meter? These analyses can be taken from the Copenhagen websites. And the flood management strategies they are following. And Copenhagen is Europe's second cleanest city. And Copenhagen is fifth happiest city. Liverpool is mentioned as the fifth happiest city. So finally we have urban vistas. So we point out the urban design elements. So we have taken all the images, window details, and design elements which are similar in the neighborhoods. So those details have been highlighted, and the evolution of those details also studied in detail. Further, we are found the time period evolution of elements also, and we have taken all the important government buildings and important landmark buildings, and we have detailed those details too. And activities in the common streets and public spaces that will be mapping during the winter, fall, spring, and summer. All the public spaces. And we talk about the festival. The famous one is Christmas, as you all know, right? And the Copenhagen's nightlife. So activities and users in and around the public squares. the seating arrangements or the landmarks around the public squares or the festivals happening in the public squares. These have been highlighted. So we have exhibitions in the public squares as well as open air cinemas and local markets will be happening in the public squares. As like in Pondicherry, we have taken Kevin Lynch principles of elements of the city and applied here in Greenbelt, and we have explored for paths, landmarks, nodes, edges, and districts. And here in addition, we have Gordon Cullen's principle of serial vision for our Stone Street. Actually, we have chosen Indira because of this Stone Street. Stone Street is similar to our Varanagan Street in Chennai, so it's one famous commercial street. So we are operating the principles of Gordon Cullen's serial vision, how people perceive cities. So starting from this day, so we have highlighted the images. So we have named it here. And finally, about the best analysis, political, economical, and social and technology data, and SWOT analysis. When more interesting in this, we have added space index, spatial analysis with the help of space index software here. So, space index software is the one which helps to analyze the spatial relationship. You can identify the connections and integrations within the urban neighborhood. So that we have done.